So, Jayson Shaw, tell me, all this calendar chaos. What's your initial reaction? Now that you had time to think about it a little bit, what are you thinking?
Not too sure really. It's a bit of a strange one again. I think the players are in a position where they got to pick and choose again. Obviously, they won't get no fines or banned or anything like that, which is a bonus. But I feel like it's tough on the players again. It's been almost a full year since all this has been going on, and the players have got the worst of it. So now we're kind of back in that same position again, just without the bans being put in place. So it's a tough one, especially um, with Hanoi being on and the World 8 Ball being in the exact same dates. And then obviously the Filipino Open, which is another matchroom event. You're going to have the Qatar 10 Ball on top of that too. So just tough for the players, really. I think now that players are not going to get banned, they're going to probably choose the tournaments with the bigger money. That's what I would think anyway.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. To me though, is that now the promoters are going to be, it's kind of like, you know, who goes to the highest bidder type of thing. Which I don't blame the players at all, but is it just going to be a situation now where these promoters are just stepping on each other and who's got the biggest money is going to win? Or would you expect the WPA at some point to try to help, keep this from happening?
Yes and no. I think as far as the people who are still having their events sanctioned by the WPA, those are the guys that are going to benefit, I think, from it. Obviously, the other guys, Matchroom, when their events are ratified, I believe that's the word we're using now.
Right?
There's not really anything for it, is there? You get no points. Um, you're not really getting anything from the WPA for it. So I think a lot of these players were in bad kind of situation with the WPA now. I feel like in what I've heard, a lot of players are trying to get into the World 10 ball, the World 8 ball. Um, and that's kind of the same time as obviously the Hanoi Open. But my whole thing was I thought this was all trying to get fixed so that we
Yeah.
could have the best players at all the best events. We want the World 8 Ball, Hanoi Open, the Filipino Open, the Qatar Open, all these events. We want the best players in the tournament, right? You want the best field you can have. And I feel like all the players would want that too. But it's not going to happen. Obviously, like you said, the WP maybe do something in the future, but as far as it goes now, it's all done, right? I don't
Yeah.
think Andy's going to change any dates now.
No, no, nothing's going to change at this point. So tell me, what are the determining factors for Jayson Shaw in picking a tournament?
Well, it just depends. For me, obviously, the World 10 ball's coming up. I think that's in September, end of September.
Right?
Doesn't really clash with anything.
No.
So obviously, if I can get in that, then I would play for sure. I'm not sure if I am going to get in it or not. I don't have any rankings on the WP anymore because we got all our points took
Right?
off us, and I guess from it being a ratified or ratify or whatever it's called event, you're not going to get any points anymore. So it's not like you can play in some of these events and still pick up points and try and get your ranking back where it was at. That's not going to happen. So I'm guessing it's either you get a wild card into these events now or you go play in stage two, which I've already seen a bunch of people playing in these stage two events, trying to qualify for the World 10 ball already. I've seen
Yeah,
a bunch of
those
players.
those stage two events are going to be pretty competitive because if you think about it, there's about 20 of the top 25 players don't have any WPA points, and there's only so many invitations, that can be given out. So there's going to be some people left behind who are going to have to play in those stage two events, or not play at all.
Yeah, well, I won't be playing in stage two. I can assure you that. I will be missing it, or I'll be getting a wild card. But obviously, I don't expect to get a wild card after what's happened. You know, I would expect other guys in that kind of uh, side that maybe have supported them or did things a little bit differently. I'm sure that they'll be giving wild cards to players that they think deserve it. And then on the other hand, I do believe that they still want the big guys in to make the event better,
Of
which
course.
is always going to be a factor. You want the big guys. That's who draw the crowds. And I think with it being in, is it Ho Chi Minh? I
Right.
believe that's
Right.
is that what it's
World
going
Eight
to
Ball.
be?
Yeah.
I believe, obviously, with that, they'll want players who are quite popular there to bring the fans. So I'm not quite sure on that one, but obviously the World 8 Ball is a big one, right? The World 8
Right.
Balls, that's the one really that's kind of that
That,
and the Qatar 10 Ball. That's the two that are kind of the ones that the players are going to have to kind of decide what they're going to do now.
well, yeah,
So,
the World Eight Ball is interesting because they also added that World Doubles
yeah,
to that event, so it kind of doubles the opportunity for players. Although the doubles, I understand, is national teams, so
yes.
I don't know how they're going to determine who gets a national team spot in that event and who
I
doesn't. I don't know
think
how big the field's going to be.
I think I heard it's going to go off rankings, Mike.
Off
It's going to
rankings
go.
for the first player, and then that player gets to choose someone else from his country, or the
No,
federations choose, or
I believe it's probably the two highest players up.
okay,
That's what I've heard so far. But I do believe also that I'm not sure if you're allowed to play in that if you've played like the World Cup of Pool's a funny thing, right?
right?
It's one of those ones as well. It's another funny situations. If you play like the World Cup of Pool has always been a doubles tournament, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
it's always been the World Cup of Pool. Now all of a sudden you've got this World Doubles Championships, which is kind of similar to
It's
the World
very
Cup of
similar.
Pool.
It's just 10 ball. I mean, it's
Yes.
two players,
So
two men players from the same country, so it's basically the same thing.
I don't know if maybe because of being 10 ball, it might be different, but as far as it being another doubles event, i.e., like the World Cup of Pool, maybe there's something might be in there where it's like, well, we really don't want you to be playing
In
in that. I
in
don't,
your matchroom
I,
contract, do you mean?
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you. I don't really read too much of them. It's like just let me sign it and get on with it. You know what I mean? We just want to play
I'm
pool.
shocked. The next two big events coming up: World 10 ball, World Pool Championship in Saudi. Those are fair game for everybody, and they should have great
Yes.
fields. I know you'll hopefully be at both, and we wish you luck in both. And maybe by the end of the summer, we'll have some of these fall problems ironed out. We'll see. Good luck in those events, and we'll look forward to hearing what your decisions are. And we appreciate your coming on the show, Jayson. Take care.
Thanks, Mike. I'll speak to you soon.